Have you ever had a hard time pronouncing that ridiculously complicated name of that Malagasy friend of yours? Or have you so wanted to ask him, your name ends with an A, so why no girl? Or even have you struggled not laughing at him when he first told you his name? Well, whichever the case, this video is gonna help you to understand him a little more. That's right, today we're gonna talk about Malagasy first name, the how, the why, and the what. But before we get there, here are some variations of my name I've heard pronounced by different people from different countries.
Lalaina,
Lalaina,
Lalaine, Lalaine, Lailana, Lalai.
Let me get this straight. I'm not mad at people who can't pronounce my name correctly. After all, I'm not the only person in the universe, not the only Malagasy to be sure, who has gotten his name mispronounced. 3 things you need to know about the matter. Our names are gender neutrals, they usually work with boys and girls alike. Our names have literal meanings, and our names are our parents' expressions of how they feel about us and what they aspire for us. So here's how we're gonna do it. We're gonna look at the famous names, I'm gonna give you the meaning behind those, and here and then we're gonna have some pronounced by my friends. Without any further ado, names begin with the letter A. Andu. Literally, it means dew, like morning dew, so that kid is thought to bring some sort of refreshment or some sort of renewal to his or her parents or to his or her world. Andu. If you're having a hard time pronouncing the sound Andu, please check my video here. And notice it's not und nor and, it is Andu. Yes, I'm looking at you French native speakers. Aina. That means life, just life, though this brat means life to his or her parents. I have friends called that and he's gonna pronounce it for us.
Không sé. Screen develop kosiku. Terror yena sande naro.
Sometimes you can get a little creative. You can mix and with Aina and have and Gaina, which means refreshment of my life. And I don't know if you've ever been to Madagascar, but native speakers tend to say Yand and Yaina instead of and Aina. Well, grammar imposes that every time you refer to a person in a sentence, you use a marker or a determiner before that person's name, like in Aina just left, okay? It is translated to Thaulasa Yaina. The E there indicates that what follows it is actually a noun or proper noun or a title. And people by habit kept the E there even if it's not necessary, and that rule applies to any other name beginning with any other vowels and even with the letter H. Talking about which, let's see what we have with the letter H. Eri. It means strength, power. Well, parents wish that baby would be strong and powerful, and for some reason just turns out to be more of a guy name, and as I said before, you'd pronounce it as Yeri. Asna. It literally means consecrated, sacred. Well, baby is the consecration that parents have been waiting for, or parents wish baby to be consecrated in his or her life, and it is pronounced Yasna, and it's kind of more neutral than Yeri, and I just happen to have a brother called that, so he's gonna pronounce his name for us.
Yasin. Yasna ni anarako. Tia memea, dia tia muzika. Dia zay angamba ny afaka lasana ohatran'ny fanina.
Let's move on to the letter L, Liva. Well, this one is Malagasy version of olive, and in broader sense even Oliver, and it's kind of more neutral, and we're gonna have this one pronounced by a friend.
Saliva. Check the leave. Not leave.
Luva, it means inheritance. Well, kid is the inheritance that is so precious in parents' eyes. The letter M, Malala. Well, a very common name, and it means beloved, honey, even darling, and baby is beloved and cherished by parents. And in itself, it is neutral, but the actual ratio of Kaigal called that is probably 1 out of 100, and that poor guy is gonna be laughed at a lot. Nyali, well, this is a contraction of Nyangali, which means good singer. I'm gonna have this one pronounced by a friend, which is by no measure a good singer. The letter N, Narina, which means brought into harmony or harmonized. Kid has arrived in parents' life in a perfect timing. Another thing I would add is that that name is actually a verb in its passive form, and one of 3 ways of pacifying a verb in Malagasy is to add the prefix a before the stem, and the stem here is rinja, which means harmony, thus arinja, being harmonized, and to have the past tense we have to put the n before it, thus narinja, brought into harmony, and by the way, it is neutral. Zaka, the one that is reigning, like the king or the queen, and for some reason it just happened to be more of a guy name also. If you're having trouble pronouncing that name, remember that we always pronounce the J as Z, like D and C, and then you put the N before it, and there you have Z, Nzaka. The letter R, Ravaka, it means adornment, like something one will adorn oneself with, and you know, it's kind of more a girl thing. And baby Ravaka is as precious as jewel in parents' eyes. We're gonna have this one pronounced by a friend.
사단이 라바간다라고 하지. 지금 사는 땐 선세도 좀 예쁘시.
Ruzu, it means necklace, and obviously Ruz is Iravaka, and it's kind of, you know, more feminine. The letter T, Taina, well, this one has two spellings, but both means to be blessed or to be protected. Well, parents wish that baby would be protected throughout his or her life, and this one is actually a verb in its passive form again, and another way of making a passive verb out of a stem is to add the suffixes in or an at the end of that stem, and the stem here is tahi, which means blessings, thus tahi plus ina, taina, to be blessed. That one is pretty neutral. In fact, I have two friends called that, a dude and a gal. One of the most common names ever, Tina, it means loved, to be loved. Well, kids is loved by parents. Oddly enough, unlike Malala, there's many guys called that. I don't know if you have noticed, but this one pretty much looked like Tain, and rightly so. It is also a verb in its passive form. The stem here is tia, which means love, and the suffix is ina, thus tina, loved, to be loved. If we were to add the object you in our sentence, we would have tiana yanao. Well, to make a complicated grammatical rule called promotion of direct object simple, we would just assume that by virtue of belonging in this sentence, the object you becomes the subject, thus tiana yanao, you being loved. Okay? By adding yet another suffix like ku, which is a pronoun I or me, we would have tiaku yanao. Tia, love, tiana, being loved, tiaku, being loved by me, you being loved by me. Ladies and gentlemen, that's how we say I love you in Malagasy. Talking about always putting the object of our affections first. Are we romantic? Without any transition, let's get back to a name that I purposely skipped, Lalaina. Well, it is also a verb in its passive form. The stem here is lala, which means cherish. Thus, we have the suffix ina, we have Lalaina, to be cherished. Pretty cool, huh? Let's end with the letter Z. Zu, it means right, like in human rights. Parents have had the right to have kid, and it's neutral. We're gonna end this video with an upper. 2 funny facts about Malagasy names. Young cats have this weird strategy of hitting on gals that have Malala or Tina in their names. And in case you're wondering how, they just call their names, because remember, there's always this ambiguity, because without any proper context, Tina or Malala can also mean my love and my darling. I'm not sure of the effectiveness though, but suppose the girl reply, that is an opening role. Malagasy love song, they often have Tina or Malala in their lyrics, and along with a friend of mine that is called Taina, we had this stupid habit, or should I say we're still having this habit, where I would just change every occurrence of Malala with Lalaina, and he would change Tina with Taina, like in or in or in and the one that is having his name in more song is kind of winning. And this other friend of ours is called Leva. He would change the lyrics of Queen's song, The Love of My Life, into Love of my life, you've hurt me, you've broken my heart, and now you leave me. Love of my life, can't you see? Ah, so stupid. That'll be it for today, guys, and I hope this video kind of helped you understand Malagasy First Name a little more. And if you're just to keep 3 things, please do keep those. Our names have literal meanings, they are gender neutral, and they are our parents' expressions of their aspirations toward us. Next time I'll be making a video about Malagasy female name. I'm gonna try to answer as to the question why most of them begin with Ra and why they're so lengthy. Thanks for watching and see ya.